Our first update is from Queensland, where detectives from Task Force Maxima Southeastern Region have charged 15 people on more than 50 charges following an operation targeting the alleged recruitment of gang members across the southeast. Operation Whiskey Rebound was launched in September 2024 to investigate members and associates of the Comanchero Bikie Club who were involved in recruitment, drug trafficking, extortion, arson and weapons activities. On February 6 and 7, detectives carried out simultaneous search warrants at multiple locations across southeast Queensland. During the searches, they discovered 2 revolvers, a significant amount of ammunition, an illegal indoor marijuana grow house containing 19 plants, as well as quantities of cocaine, cannabis, and methamphetamine. Authorities also seized approximately $20,000 in cash. Detectives located and charged 15 people with a total of 54 charges, including 3 men who were charged with recruiting persons to become a participant in a criminal organization. Acting Detective Superintendent Craig Bowman said the operation has disrupted a newly formed street gang. We gained intelligence that both current and former Comanchero members had been actively recruiting members for a newly formed street gang known as 50 Street Crew. This operation interfered with these efforts early and have effectively disrupted the gang's activities regarding drug trafficking across the southeast. Thanks to the collaboration of approximately 40 police officers from various criminal investigative branches, we were able to effectively coordinate 12 search warrants across 2 days, resulting in significant arrests and charges, and ultimately, the disruption of drug trafficking and violent activities in Queensland. Acting Superintendent Bowman said. Staying in Queensland, our next update is from the Gold Coast, where police have arrested 3 people as part of an operation targeting the trafficking of dangerous drugs. Operation X-Ray Vent was launched by the Crime and Intelligence Command Drug and Serious Crime Group in January, following intelligence indicating the trafficking of illicit drugs including heroin, cocaine and methamphetamine. Investigations resulted in the execution of 8 search warrants on Tuesday at locations in Nerang, Arundel, Spring Creek, and Park Ridge. At a storage facility, detectives located approximately 1.5 kilograms of heroin, 21 kilograms of methamphetamine, 24.5 kilograms of cannabis, around $411,000 cash, mobile phones and 2 cash counting machines. The total estimated combined value of the drugs is around $3.5 million. A 52-year-old man was charged with 1 count each of trafficking in dangerous drugs, possessing methamphetamine, heroin, cocaine and cannabis, receiving or possessing property obtained from trafficking or supplying, contravening order about information necessary to access information stored electronically, and 3 counts of possessing anything used in the commission of crime. A 36-year-old Spring Creek man was charged with trafficking in dangerous drugs, possessing methamphetamine, heroin, contravening order about information necessary to access information stored electronically, and 2 counts of possessing anything used in the commission of crime. These men appeared in the Southport Magistrates Court. Our next update is from New South Wales, where Jamie Tozer, a former member of the Rebels Motorcycle Club, has pleaded guilty to the manslaughter of his longtime friend and ex-bikie boss, Ricky Ciano, after prosecutors were unable to prove the death was murder. Ciano, who once led the Rebels Liverpool chapter in southwest Sydney, was found dead in his BMW on a roadside in Oberon in New South Wales, 3 days after receiving a lethal injection of cocaine and heroin, commonly known as a speedball, in February 2017. Initially charged with murder, Tozer avoided trial after the court ruled there was insufficient evidence to establish that Ciano was injected against his will. Tozer had been a close associate of Ciano for years, was involved in the events leading up to his death alongside his half-brother, Daniel Bushell. Court documents revealed that Bushell administered the fatal injection after receiving the drugs from Tozer. Bushell was charged with murder but was found guilty of the lesser charge of manslaughter in 2023, receiving a 9-year prison sentence. Throughout the trial, prosecutors argued that Ciano had a strong aversion to heroin and had expressed a fear of needles, citing statements from his wife and sister. However, the court also heard that Ciano had a history of opioid use, including oxycodone, and had previously injected steroids and growth hormones. In the weeks leading up to his death, his use of oxycodone reportedly increased, and he had taken the drug on the day of the fatal injection. Despite these arguments, the court found that the prosecution could not establish beyond a reasonable doubt that Ciano did not consent to the injection. As a result, Tozer's manslaughter plea was accepted. He is set to face sentencing on April 4th, where he could receive a significant prison term for his role in Ciano's death.
Hopefully. Over and out.
Our next update comes from the New South Wales District Court, where former Hells Angels bikie boss Mustafa Hafizi has avoided time behind bars after pleading guilty to defrauding the government of $71,000 by filing fake business activity statements to claim GST refunds. His co-accused, former NRL player Willis Meehan and ex-bank manager turned Hells Angel Aaron Wynn, had already received suspended sentences for their involvement, a story previously covered on this channel. During the court hearing, Hafizi revealed he had cut ties with the Hells Angels bikie club after his wife issued an ultimatum. Following his August 2023 arrest, he chose to leave his criminal past behind, finding legal employment and addressing his gambling and drug addictions. Court records indicate that Hafizi struggled with addiction while working as a surveyor, spending most of his income on gambling and cocaine. Judge Stephen Hanley acknowledged Hafizi's efforts to reform, ruling that imprisonment could derail his rehabilitation. Instead, he was sentenced to a 2.5-year community-based intensive correction order in order to repay the stolen funds. The court noted that Hafizi left the Hells Angels without facing retribution, a rare occurrence in outlaw bikie circles. The fraud scheme, which was uncovered by Operation Protego initiated by the Australian Tax Office in 2022, spanned across Australia and involved the creation of fake businesses through social media platforms like TikTok and Facebook. Perpetrators used counterfeit Australian business numbers to submit fabricated business activity statements and claim unauthorized GST refunds. The total financial impact of the scheme on Australian taxpayers reached a staggering $1.6 billion. Law enforcement authorities successfully brought charges against several individuals, including Hafizi, former banker Aaron Wynn, and boxer Willis Meehan. The charges faced by Hafizi, Wynn, and Meehan include conspiracy to defraud the Commonwealth, obtaining financial advantage through deception, and dealing with proceeds from criminal activity. These serious offenses carried a potential penalty of up to 10 years in prison. Previously, Wynn was sentenced to an 8-month suspended sentence and placed on a good behavior bond, while Meehan also pleaded guilty to his role in the GST fraud scheme and was sentenced to a 9-month suspended sentence. Our final update is from Western Australia, where former bikie Desmond Kirk has been sentenced to 10 months in prison after a dangerous police chase in January 2024, during which he pointed a gun at officers and crashed into a car with children inside. Kirk led police on an hour-long pursuit, reaching speeds of 150 km per hour, stealing 2 vehicles, and repeatedly driving on the wrong side of the road. He was first spotted carrying a firearm in a restricted water catchment area at Serpentine Dam, triggering police intervention. At that time he was in breach of a domestic violence-related court order. During the chase, Kirk crashed into a brick pillar in a Toyota Prado carrying 2 children. He then stole an Isuzu truck, aimed a .22 caliber rifle at a police helicopter, forcing evasive action, and scared nearby construction workers. He was eventually stopped when the tactical response group used a pit maneuver to spin his vehicle off the road, leading to his violent arrest. Kirk's criminal history includes threatening to kill his pregnant ex-girlfriend's pet dog, sending her messages saying he had a gun, and struggling with drug addiction and mental health issues. His defense lawyer argued that Kirk had shown remorse and was distancing himself from negative influences. Magistrate William Yu called Kirk's behavior disgusting and extremely serious, stating that aiming a firearm at police showed complete disrespect for the law. Kirk was sentenced to 10 months in prison, fined $12,000, and disqualified from driving for 42 months. Despite this, he remains in custody, having been denied bail for a more serious charge, attempting to strike a person with a projectile to cause grievous bodily harm or prevent arrest. He has denied firing the gun and is scheduled for a trial hearing in the District Court of Western Australia. If you're looking for more thrilling and edgy bikie updates, don't hesitate, whack that subscribe button, spread and share the video, hit that like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And for the true grid Spartans out there, consider sending a super thanks or buy us a coffee to show some love. Your support keeps us going and the channel thriving, especially since most of our videos aren't monetized due to all the crime-related content. Stay tuned, stay curious, stay awesome, and take care. Wu-Tang.